Seniors are coming, you can't work on the same line with them. Seniors are coming, they're shouting urban girl, obi girl. Seniors are coming, they're shouting girl in the green bag, girl in the green bag with the short skirts, girl in the green bag with the all back, girl in the green bag with I'm like, you stupid girl, you want to bully me, but you don't even have the mind for tears. Hi lovelies, I look a little I'm getting dressed. This is a get ready with me video. I'm going for Bobby's show, and so I'm really excited. Last time we had the show was 3 years ago. I'm a big fan, so yeah. This is my first time filming a get ready with me video, so I hope it's not too chaotic. Also because I must not be late, my sister will kill me. So in this video I want to talk about feeling like repressed in like your teenage years, and just basically like my teenage years experience, and I hope that maybe it's relatable to you or whatever. So what triggered this video is a few things. Last week I was watching Epstein's documentary, and in it there was a girl that was getting solicited for like sex, by Jeffrey Epstein and everything, and basically she was assaulted by him, but she didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell her siblings, she didn't tell her family, she didn't tell her friends. And my sister and I, at first I was like, why didn't she tell even like her friends? And then I realized that when I was in school, when I was that age, like 16, 15, even if you had told me, even if she had told her friends probably not have been able to do anything for her. Like if my friend had told me that I was assaulted by a man, and a much older man, what would I have been able to do at that age? Right now I'm very loud, and now we'll do this, we'll do that, but like at that age it would have been very overwhelming, because then I realized that okay, a few years back I was talking to a former schoolmate. If you went to Queen's College, signify in the comments. I went to Queen's College, and then we're talking about some teacher that was accused of harassing and assaulting a young girl. And I was like, oh wow, that this story. And then she was like, oh, I told you when he harassed me. I was like, what? It's like, I told you that he harassed me. I was like, I can't remember this. I had suppressed the memory, like blanked out the memory from my brain. I couldn't even remember her telling me. That's how crazy it was. And so it's like, if the girl had said anything, what would she have been able to tell? And so that was trigger one. Then trigger two was my brother-in-law asking me. My brother-in-law was mistaking the date for something else. He was like, oh, today is July 12th. I was like, today can't be July 12th because July 12th is my city's birthday. And he's like, your what? I'm like, my friend's birthday. He's like, no, you said something. I'm like, my city's birthday. And then I felt a little bit of shame, because I still call my city partner from secondary school city 10 years later. But the truth is that many of the friends I had back then, we still call each other what we're calling each other back then. My paddy that I used to call paddy back then in secondary school, we still comment paddy under each other's comments on Instagram 10 years later after leaving school. And so it's like we're kind of like in that cycle of that period of like 13 to 15, 16 that I spent in senior secondary school with this group of girls in Queen's College has made such an impact in my life that we're all kind of like in this cycle, and it's just we haven't been able to like break out of it, right? The third trigger was having an actual conversation with my partner where I can't remember what we were talking about, but like we spoke about some girl that used to get harassed and like bullied a lot, and we talked about how we never like helped her, like spoke up for her or anything. All of us just watched as she got bullied. Well, those of us that didn't agree with the bullying just watched how she got bullied by mates and everything. And so I was like, what could we have done? I think this thing has finished though. Hey! Thank you, Lord! Okay. I really need to buy makeup. I barely wear makeup, so I just hardly ever buy. Anyway, so we're not talking about how... I'm just going to do something light because I don't do... So like, how could we have really done anything for her anyway? Anyway, all of these three things were the ones that made me finally think like... That was such a, being in Queen's College, being in secondary school, that age was such a monumental part of my life, really deeply impacted me. Like, even like talking to my friend, another friend that was another schoolmate, and we're talking about how many mutuals we have. I was saying that every time I check a former Queen's College girls comment section or like number of followers, we always have like around 70 mutuals, right? I would see a former Queen's College girl, once I see her profile, I would be like, have this and 75 friends in common, and this and something friends in common, like just a large number of friends in common. It's because we like still follow each other. We're such a big part of each other's lives during that period. It felt like it was just 3 years. To me, it was even a huge deal because that's the longest time I've ever spent in a school. My primary school, nursery to primary school, I went to 7 schools. My GS1 was done in one school, my GS2 to GS3 was done in another school, and we're only 5 in a class. So going to Queen's College, my first government school, we were about like 550 when we first entered my set, and we're an all-girls school, everything together, and I was there for 3 years, the longest time I had spent. There was no how, I had no choice. I would be deeply impacted by it. And like that period in my life was also when, you know, my love for music, for French, for books was really like fostered. It was also a really like weird period because even though we're an all-girls school, we used to get slut shamed all the time. That is the teacher that would say, she was greeting us in Yoruba like we pepper sellers, because we came in from SS1. They treat us like we're not real Queen's College students because, you know, we came from other schools and we're not pure bred, like a cult. Everything was also very Lord of the Flies, like with like students and like young people having cliques, everybody gathering, any small thing, violence, they'll say it's in rush, they'll beat each other up, all kinds of things, you know. So like it was a very weird thing. Like there was no outside world. At least they didn't want you to have outside world, right? Because it was a hostel. So if a day student had a much different experience, if you asked a day student, probably didn't have half of the experiences that we had. Obviously, I think that's a general thing. To wear eyeshadow or not to wear eyeshadow, I don't know if I love these brows actually, but they'll do. Foundation will clear it up. I think back in 2020, I wrote this book, How You Became You, and that book really allowed me to like reflect on like past experiences, and a lot of the experiences I reflected on was like, you know, being young, and also how much I barely used to, like I used to talk a lot, right? Talk a lot about much ado about nothing. I talk a lot but not really doing much. Not really saying much. But like when it came down to like things that I should speak about or speak against or do, like I was too young and we're just not taught to like speak your mind or speak. If nobody really encouraged us to, you know, speak out loud, it was also shut up, what do you know? You're young, what do you know? So there was a lot of like culture of like silence. When pink and orange, those have become my two favorite colors. I think pink on the eyelids would do, just small, because I suck with eyeshadow. This is not even false modesty, is the truth, because I cannot be false modest. But like back then, we also taught a lot of false modesty, all kinds of things, and it was just like, you know, I was thinking about how, you know, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, because I have some really great memories, some things I can never forget, people that I've bonded really well with. I carried many of my friends to Unilag that time. Many of us have stayed friends since then. Since we left school in 2012, like 2012, yeah, like 2012, yeah, so like 10 years, yeah. And it just like really deeply affected us and like how we express ourselves. Many of us have grown. Some people are still stuck in the trauma. Like, okay, my friend now was saying, oh, that we're talking about people that we're still in contact with. So I talk about how I was in contact with still a lot of people. And she's like, oh, Lola, you've always like been friendly. You've always had many friends. And so that's not surprising. I was like, well. And she was talking about how some people, I was like, oh, have you heard from this person that she was really cool with? And she's like, since I left school, I've not seen that person. No. I was like, some people were so traumatized by secondary school experience that they didn't want to have anything to do with anybody after they left school. They were just like, you know what, this old school fucked me up, so fuck all your, and they were gone. So I'm like, I'm not surprised. Like some people did not have a great time. So to them, there's no reason why they should keep. I hope this eyeshadowing is eyeshadowing, you know. There's no reason why they should keep contact with anybody. This foundation will soon finish. That's tried. I think it has even already, should have expired by now. I'm afraid to check the dates. It's supposed to expire. You're supposed to use them for 12 months, right? And I'm pretty sure it's been more than 12 months by now. If not 12 months, then it will soon be 12 months, very soon. I need to rush and use it, but I can never wear makeup like during the week. Anyway, so just basically got me first time wearing makeup with the nose ring. I hope makeup does not enter and then cause chaos. So just speaking about like how some people just wanted to get as far away as possible. I know someone, when we had like some kind of group meeting, was talking about how she was in therapy for a bit after that time. I mean, we literally had a male teacher that was harassing students. Nothing was done about it. Instead teachers used to slut shame us. We had teachers that, you know, just used to pick on you. I had one terrible experience one time. Somebody stole my uniform, I think, when I spread it outside, and then I had nothing else to wear. They had closed the gate. I could not go back inside my hostel to pick another one. I was played. That's how I was thinking. I first of all struggled with the whole thing of like having to pick having to take somebody else's uniform. I was like, what will I do? Will I take somebody else's uniform for real? Like, I honestly did not want to take somebody else's uniform, but like at the same time I felt like I had no choice. At the end I decided to take somebody's uniform just to borrow it. At least I have to go to school. That's how I bought the only uniform I could see to take. The person's skirt was too tight. I wore skirts to class to crossover. That's what we used to call it then. You see how these teachers embarrassed me. Hey, one particular teacher was like, what is this short skirt you're wearing? You want to use it to seduce men, right? Look at all these girls, you people of loose morals. Over skirts. Excuse me, ma, this is what happened. This is not my skirt. I had to do this. She didn't care. She was like that. This is what you always do. You would think I had committed a crime. Like, she was doing as if she had caught her husband's side chick in public. Let me wet this a little bit. She was doing as if she had caught her husband's side chick in public. It was terrible. It was another teacher that had to vouch for me. I think one particular teacher that wanted to use to harass me, but I think she wanted to keep me specially for herself. That only her would they harass me. No, that teacher will harass me. That one was the one that not spoke for me. That Bolariwa is not like that. Or something must have happened. Bolariwa, what happened? We find her explaining. I said, let her go, let her go. Bolariwa doesn't wear this. So Bolariwa doesn't. I was like, hey. So it's like all those kind of experiences. That day I was already crying because I was like, what's the problem? From losing my, being already scattered, from looking for uniform, from having to take uniform, having to take somebody else's uniform, feeling bad about that self, that if somebody comes, I have to quickly wash their uniform. They will come to the line and they won't see their uniform. I had stolen, regardless of whether my hands were forced or not. I had stolen. So like, and then having to deal with that, and then having to, this thing is spilling everywhere, and then having to deal with that, it was quite traumatizing. Please, this is not a makeup tutorial. This will never be mistaken for a makeup tutorial. Please. And anybody that tries to advise me, this is now you should do your makeup. Hey, keep peace, okay? Actually, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, even though. Let's all sit for a bit. What I want to do? I want to fatten this a little. If I had not had a teacher to vouch for me that day, I would have seen Pepe. I can't find my pencil. I don't know where I put pencil. God, why must someone always look for makeup when you're okay, sit. Just want to do a little bit of. And there were many scenarios like that. There were many. We had principals. We bring one principal. This principal will say this. They bring another set of principals. That will have different set of rules, all kinds of things. It was just like a really, really draining period. As all of these things don't even encourage you to talk. Music was my life a lot in school. I spent a lot of time in the music department. I actually was in the choir. I was music prefect. I was band leader. All of those things. I don't know if I slapped their face to get there, but yeah, I was all of those things. And that was what I spent a lot of my time doing, even though I was still like mixing with friends and everything. But I think now that I think about it, a lot of it was like an escape for me. I just didn't want to be involved in like the drama of being in class, things being noisy. I just wanted to sit down and just be. Through all those times, like that teacher, for example, that was dragging me and was harassing me, if I'd come to meet her that this lecturer, a male lecturer, was harassing me, she probably would have told me, you two, what are you doing there? Because many people were told that. We were hearing stories now. In fact, there were some times that after school, I heard some people's stories and I was like, wow, this was happening to some people. Like, you never know. We're all each causing our own experiences that we didn't even see what's going on with other people, that some people are actually, having it worse than others. Me, for example, now, I barely got bullied. I hardly got bullied. I think I only got like sent on errands a few times. No, I had like, because I spent a lot of time in the music department, I mix a lot with like my seniors, and so I had people that I used to use their names to lie. That seniors, sometimes they called me and they used their names to lie to dodge errand. I once saw one of my seniors. I don't want it to sit for too long. She didn't remember me, obviously she can't, because me, I used to fly under the radar. I remember her very well. I just got this. I heard now that bullying has really been reduced, but back then bullying was the order of the day and people couldn't wait to pass on the torch. That was our slogan of bullying. And that was also another thing, again, why I would say like Lord of the Flies, because people were going through a lot and they couldn't also wait to put others through a lot. It's like, if you're going through a lot, be going through it. Because Mister, I'm just coming back from a lot. People couldn't wait to also bully juniors under them, and it was quite the cycle of the worst. And many people still had to deal with like the after leaving school safe. The experience didn't leave them. They were still, struggling with it. Oh, I like that. This is kind of like a pinkish whatever, like a rose gold bronzer. Instead of them to be having sex talk with us, things that can actually be helpful, for us, they did not have any sex talk, nothing. Maybe they brought a few people to come and discuss like sex talk with us, but it was all this mediocre sex talk, all this boring that someone even tune. I used to tune out conversation a lot. I'll be pretending, I'll put my novel. I used to read books a lot, like I said. I'll put novel in between my book as if I'm reading, but I'm actually reading novel. How I pass, I don't know. Thank God that I was naturally smart. Actually, I used to read too, but I was not a career book for head person. I very much believe in balance of book and having a good time. A subtle lip because I want to wear colorful outfits, so my outfit can be fighting with my face. I'm wearing sunscreen under this. Always wear sunscreen. Don't think when you're wearing makeup you don't need to wear sunscreen. Don't be funny, okay? I think I should package this into my bag. I'll need it. So I barely had any sex talk with us, and like recently I had like a sex talk with a teenager. That was so weird for me because like nobody ever really had sex talk with me. But I had 3 older sisters, so I was also not like new to things. So I basically had a bit of like a sex talk, and it was just always something that friends and I used to talk about. Like we never got any real sex talk. All they did was slut shame us and embarrass us and insult us. So secondary school was very much a mix of many things. From that time I remember really being like, my sister used to always tell me that, oh, when it comes to being at home, I'm so loud, I'm so vocal, I'm so rude. When you say your mind to other people, say you're rude. And also I think I would say it's rude, probably, because I'm still rude. But like, she'll be like, when you're at home, you're rude, you're this, you're that. But when you're in school, you won't talk, you won't say this, you won't say that. I had a lot of great memories, like I said, friends, people that we bonded, nonsense songs that we learned together, eating together in the dining hall, and all kinds of things that just like formed us. Who I was when I entered at 13 years old was not who I was when I left at 15. At 13, if I got my mother dropped me the first day of school, when I was there, I didn't cry on time. I think I cried like a week later. That was when it finally hit me, like, oh my God, I'm in this place surrounded by strangers. I've never been away from home like that. I'm surrounded by strangers and just people that are just, anyhow. Everybody else too is young, they are struggling. Other people are seniors who are running away. Seniors are coming, we switch off the lights. Seniors are coming, you really dodge. Seniors will soon come, you run to cross over to your hostel before seniors come out. Seniors are coming, you can't walk on the same line with them. Seniors are coming, they're shouting, urban girl, oh big girl. Seniors are coming, they're shouting, girl in the green bag. Girl in the green bag with the short skirts. Girl in the green bag with all back. Girl in the green bag with... girl in the green bag, dark skinned. Girl in the green bag with big bum bum. So all kinds of things, and then ways that they used to describe you. You didn't have a name, nobody cared for your name. Is Obi house or Bong house, all the things that they used to describe us. So like even that first week, I was still trying to get used to it until things hit me. I think till now I'm still like a slow booter. I let emotions chill, then they hit me. Before I cried, one girl told me to carry a bucket of water upstairs, some senior, and it wasn't even like carrying a bucket of water that was even paining me. It was just like the whole thing just hit me, like, look at me here. I can't even report to my mother. I just started crying. The girl was so confused. She was like, sorry, I just said you carry my bucket of water. Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll go to your hostel. I'm like, you stupid girl, you want to bully me, but you don't even have the mind for tears. And so it was really wild. You want to bully me, but you can't take a little bit of crying. Please, let's straighten this hair. It's giving a little bit of crazy. I'll be looking in there because of my big mirror. And so that was really wild, but we also had like really good moments. I remember like waiting for Sunday rice. Sunday rice would be great. That was even when I learned that because food smells nice does not mean to taste nice. Because there are many times that we'll be smelling that Sunday jollof rice. That Sunday jollof rice will be tasting that smelling amazing. When you eat the food, like the food will be so mediocre. You'll be like, what's be this? And so that was, there were some really fond memories, friends, have friends that even if you don't talk every day, whenever we speak, it's so great. Like me and my seat partner from school, we still speak all the time. I never miss her birthday, she never misses my birthday. We hung out, I think one time, like last year or something. That was like one of my fondest memories, like realizing that we met each other and we were able to still, like how many years later, like 7 years later, because I think we saw each other like 2 years later when we came to get do some clearance. But like seeing each other 7 years after that, and then we're still bonding, immediately there was no awkwardness. I was like, oh my God. So I've made some friends from that place. Yes, I was talking to my friend the other day. I was like, oh my god, we've been friends for about 12 years. And so it's like, I've made some friends from like, it bonded us, right? Trauma bonds people. But also, we had a really good time together in some areas. Also, there's the whole thing of when I go to some places, there will always be that, oh, are you a QC girl? You're a QC girl. Everyone run into QC girls like nothing else these days. I'm always running into QC girls. Anytime I go anywhere, I'll run into a QC girl. But too many not to. We always run into each other. I will come across some QC girl on social media, on Instagram or something. We always like try to support each other, and I love that for us. Like, even like every old girl, you always go somewhere. Whenever you go somewhere, you always see a QC girl. I really love that for us. I just straightened it recently, so it shouldn't be too hard. And also, being in a school that was that big, there was no how I met all kinds of people. There were all kinds of girls. There were all kinds of girls. There were just all kinds of girls with all kinds of behavior, all kinds of people. Even me, like, I saw different sides to myself. I remember I was saying something that was the first time I ever met. Something happened one time. I got so pissed. I actually slapped somebody else. I was like, Lola slapping somebody else, like physical whatever is not my thing at all. Like, except like by jokingly like hitting each other, jokingly laughing and hitting each other. I don't like. That was also the first time I got, like, first and last time I snapped and like, okay, no, I've hit somebody before, but that one was a boy and that one was an harasser. So let's not get into it. But yeah, that was my first time where, you know, it was quite unnecessary. The person had upset me. She was doing something. I was like, what's wrong with this girl? And I had like smacked her, and then immediately I regretted it. So there were all kinds of firsts, some even lasts back then. And you know, it was a really life-changing and impactful period in my life, obviously. And those were the height of my teens, right? 13 to 15. And so, not surprised. I even forgot that there will be times that they tell us to come and clean the hall. Then they'll tell you, oh, don't worry, those of you that clean the hall, write your names down. Don't worry, you will not serve punishment. Those of them that did not write their names down, that did not come to clean the hall, we'll punish them. We'll do this. Is a lie. That was when I learned that good girl no they pay you. Hope you know this, because we would actually work, and those people that did not do anything, nothing will happen to them. In fact, even also in Lagos, when I learned that those that used to rush, when you rush for the first day and the second day in this Nigeria, you're gonna suffer. People that come last at the end, that you be like, oh, those ones are the people that are, you know, disobeying and they came late, and they are the ones that should suffer. They're the ones that enjoy, because everybody else would have rushed. You know, they will come, they will lounge, you know. So that taught me not to be rushing forward for rubbish. I had a choice between like going back to Queen's College. Like, if I had a chance to like go back to Queen's College as a secondary school, a choice of secondary school, I would have still gone back there, because as much as I had like there were a lot of like crazy experiences. Most of my experiences personally were good, and you know, like I said, they really changed me and really made me form some really great bonds. But I think that I would love to make some changes to like the schools, and also changes in myself, so I'll be able to speak up for certain things that happened. But also, as much as I speak up, I would also love to be able to change some things in the institution itself, because as much as you talk, if you talk into a place where if you talk and take action, if people are not interested in taking action with you, or you're just talking to people that are not interested, all you're talking is for naught. My style will soon come. Let me go and wear clothes. I think this works. Anyways, I would love to hear about your own stories of like secondary school, 13 to 16, 13 to 15, and basically your own secondary school experience, your own high school experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and to like if you do end up enjoying the video. And you know, if you went to Queen's College, let's bant in the comment section. And yeah, what do we think? Do you like my look? I'll capture a full view so we can see my old look. Bye.